Welcome, yoga time. Here we are. Everyone got a yoga strap? Do you guys get a strap? So let's begin in mountain pose. You might start with a few deep breaths. Nice audible breaths, breathing in through your nose. You might exhale through your nose or out through your mouth. You shake out any cobwebs. And just keep this connection with breath. Reestablish a relationship with your breathing. And initially with your breath, just continue to tune into your body. Notice how you're feeling. Allowing yourself to fully arrive. To connect. And to be here. And for the next hour, just letting go of the things that are going on outside of you, so you can pay attention to what's going on inside of you. Opening yourself up to what you're needing, what you're wanting, what you're desiring for yourself. And that's what our yoga practice can be about. It's just slow, steady breaths. The breathing in a way where you can feel your breath. As you inhale, you might feel your breath rising to fill your lungs. This expansive breath. Opening your heart space. Then when you exhale, connect to your center body by drawing your navel inward towards your spine. Not too strongly, just a light contraction of your abdominal muscles. Just in this inward motion and feeling. Listen to the sound of your breath. Listen and feel. Let's take 3 more breaths here in stillness, preparing for our bodies to move. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead and treat it like a nice stretch this first time, reaching all the way up. Then exhale, let's fold forward so you're hinging at your hips, a good bend in your knees. Make your way down, maybe touching your toes, or maybe it's just a partial fold this first time. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees and extend your spine. Feel like you're coming forward. And exhale, we'll fold again. Just make your way back down towards your toes. We'll hold here for several moments, several breaths, and just notice the sensations here that are arising in your body. You know, that lengthening quality through your hamstrings, your lower glutes, awareness of the curvature of your spine, heaviness of the upper body as gravity draws you downward. You might even just let your arms just dangle here, maybe shake out the shoulders a little bit. Be aware of your head and neck. I know I have a tendency to kind of hold my neck stiff in a forward fold or even down dog. So I just remind myself just to nod and shake my head a little bit just to loosen up. Let's do another halfway lift. You'll inhale, just slide your hands up to your shins, your knees, and extend your spine. We're going to hold here on the exhale. Just hold this posture. This, of course, is just half forward fold. Keeping the bend in the knees, but maybe still noticing the natural engagement of your hamstrings that are helping you to hold in place, and also the natural engagement of your core, again helping you to balance in this posture. Now weight shift back into your heels, bend your knees like you're sitting down into a low chair as you're lifting your chest, and take your arms out to the side. That's it. As you inhale and reach up towards the ceiling for another nice stretch. Exhale, hands to heart or arms down to your side to finish that sequence. Take another breath or two, shake things out. Yeah, another audible breath if that feels good. Let's just go through that same sequence again, our half salute to the sun. Whenever you're ready, inhale, just take the arms all the way up. Nice lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward, making your way down. Take your time. Inhale, rise up halfway. A little weight shift towards your toes. Your heels might want to lift. Then exhale back down to your forward fold. Just a brief pause, complete release of head, neck, and shoulders. Then the weight shift back into the heels. Bend your knees, lift the chest, spread your wings, and come all the way back up to standing. Reach up a little higher as you're able. Exhale, hands to your heart or arms down to your side. Take a breath. We'll continue with our full sun salute. Always moving at your own pace. Modify whenever you need to. Here we go. Inhale, reaching into the air. Energy through your fingertips. Exhale, leading with your heart. Fold forward. Take your time. Rising halfway up, that fully extended spine. Just exhale, folding. Going low enough, bending your knees so you can place your hands on your mat. Walk or step both feet back to plank pose, your high push-up position. Hold here for a moment, just so you can really connect to not only the length in the body, but the strength in your body here. Breathe in. And your exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips right up into the air. Our shortcut, right into downward facing dog that we usually do this first time. But no, you can do that anytime, even all the time as we go through this part of the sequence. Settle into the pose, make any adjustments with your feet and or your hands on your mat. Hold in stillness if you'd like, or again, just continue to add movement, checking in. Notice how you feel. Awareness of your head and neck. Do you hold it stiff, or are you able to keep it loose? Let's take another full breath in as a way to prepare your body to move. And exhale, bend your knees so you can walk, step, or even hop both feet to the top of your mat. Good. Inhale, lengthening through your spine. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, our weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming up, reach high. This exhale, take chair pose. We'll just keep the body in motion. It could be a high seat for chair pose, or maybe you're sitting back and down a little deeper as it feels okay. Breathe in, outstretch through your arms. Exhale, let's dive out of the seat to forward fold. Long spine, lift up halfway. Inhale. Exhale, all the way down we go. Again, planting the hands into the mat, hop, step, or walk, both feet back into plank pose. Draw the straight line, feel the strength in your body. As before, you can take that same shortcut to down dog, or exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze them in towards your ribs to lower yourself down, finishing your push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to a back bend, maybe up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Settling into the pose, make your adjustments. Move when you're ready. And inhale here to extend right leg up behind you. Let's hold on the exhale. Let's see if we can get the body a little longer here. Really feel like you're trying to touch the wall behind you, or if your leg is high enough, maybe reaching for the ceiling. Hands pressing very strongly into the mat. Feel the energy in your arms, maybe your shoulders. Breathe in again. And then exhale, let's step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. And your right hand, left heel turns to the floor. Be sure there's good weight and pressure in that back foot. Lightness in the hands so we can easily hinge from hips with an inhale, rising up to our first warrior. Keep it moving. Exhale, hinge and fold. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Let's pull that right foot back to meet the other. Finish your sequence as you like. You can modify that chaturanga movement by bringing your knees to the floor first, then your chest, perhaps a low cobra for your back bend, and then with a good exhale, guiding your body into downward facing dog. Arriving in the pose, settling in. Same thing with the other side. An inhale to extend left leg up, reaching back. Hold on the exhale. Keep breathing in and out, just feeling the body get longer. Rooting your hands into the mat, flat palms, outstretched leg, reaching for the wall through your foot. Breathing in, ready to move. And exhale, step through. Left foot to the top of the mat, landing. Right heel will turn to the floor. Weight shift back to find balance. Perfect. You'll float up, hinging from the hips. I love that transition. Rising. And our exhale, folding again. Hands back down to the floor. Slide left foot back to meet the other. Here's plank pose. Finishing your sequence as you'd like. Yep. You can always take that shortcut. meeting together in downward facing dog. Holding here for a breath or two in downward facing. We'll do a little floor work. So go ahead and bend your knees, kneel down, sit back briefly in hero pose, and go ahead and sit off to the side and swing the legs around to the front. Sitting in the center of your mat so you can roll down onto your back. Go ahead and hug your knees into chest. Let's add some movement here if you'd like, a little rocking left and right or forward and back. I usually create figure eights, just getting into my hips and back. Check in with your feet and ankles here too. Circle the feet, flex, point, just get into the joints of the feet. We're going to be doing some leg work today with an awareness of kind of this outer rotation that's going to help us with the leg extension that we're going to be working on today. So let's do our first leg extension. First, just set the left foot onto the floor. You can keep the knee bent or you can straighten that leg. But we're going to extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Don't worry about it being absolutely straight because it doesn't have to be. You can keep a bend in the knee. We're not even going to be here that long. Okay, and just a flexing of the foot, feel like you're reaching for the ceiling through the heel. Breathe in, and the exhale, bend that knee, set the foot onto the floor. And we'll just bring in the other leg, draw the left knee in, and then extend the left leg. Again, flexed foot, heel reaching for the ceiling. Just hold on to the leg with your hands. Again, the knee can be bent. Just introducing some extension in the leg in this simple posture. Breathe in, and our exhale, let's just bend the knee and set the foot back down onto the floor. So now we'll prep for our bridge. I usually take my feet a little wider than my hips, that's just me. Breathing in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, emptying your belly, engaging your core muscles, lifting the hips away from the floor right up towards the sky. Adjusting your upper body, if you'd like, by rocking your upper body left and right several times to get your arms and shoulders underneath you, if you'd like. Getting the feet in the right place so you have that good leverage to help you lift. Use your hands if you need to lift yourself up or hold yourself up. Take some deep breaths, some awareness of really filling up the lungs and even the uppermost region of the lungs right up towards your collarbones. Filling yourself up. 2 more breaths here. After that second breath coming out of the pose, we'll start by wiggling the feet forward a little bit, making space in the low back. We'll extend the arms straight up into the air, getting the shoulders out from underneath you, then roll your way down to the ground. Once you've made it down, extend your legs out front, reach your arms behind you, and create this extension through the entire body. And then go ahead and hug the knees into chest. Once again, we're going to rise back up to seated. Feel free to rock your way up to seated or roll to one side and press yourself up to seated. Make our way into boat pose. Just want to ensure that you have an extended spine. I usually like to hold on to the legs and literally lift myself up with an inhale, fill up the lungs, then exhale to create the abdominal lock to hold yourself in place. Energized feet, they can be flexed or pointed just to keep the legs strong. You can hold on, you can free up the hands, you can even play with extending the legs. All right, breathing in, ready to move, nice. And the exhale, we'll cross legs, hands in front or even to the side so you can swing the feet back or hop or step back into plank pose. Energy in the legs. As you hold in plank for another second or two, just feel like your calves and hamstrings are lifting up towards the ceiling. Then let's all take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees, send your hips into the air, adjust the feet and hands. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Let's open this up this time. So bend your right knee, bring the heel down towards your backside. A little lift of the knee, right knee towards the ceiling. Creates a twist in the spine, but mainly a nice hip opener. And notice that sensation of lifting the knee. It doesn't have to lift high, but just notice the sensation of lifting the knee.
Okay, breathe in right where you are, and as you exhale, unwind and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat, left heel to the floor behind you, find your center, then hinge your way up, first warrior. With an exhale, go ahead and open and expand into your warrior two. Holding here for a moment. Okay. You're going to keep the leg posture, but relax your arms. Relax your arms for a moment. What you're going to do here is just have an awareness of this front leg, our right leg here. Just as you were in that down dog with the leg in the air, knee bent, I had you lifting the knee. Okay, it's kind of this outer rotation or just an opening of the hip. You want to have the same sensation here. So place your right hand on your outer right thigh and actually push your thigh into your hand. Okay? Keep that sensation there. Take your left hand up into the air, facing forward, kind of like you're doing a warrior one. Now as you exhale, imagine you're opening up to warrior two. So this left hand's reaching to the back of the room, your torso is turning to the left side of the room, but your thigh is still pressing into your hand. Okay, that way that leg stays aligned over the heel and ankle, and you're creating this outer rotation. Go ahead and re-extend your right arm forward. Still feel like that knee or thigh is moving to the right side of the room. Even here, as we move into side angle, reach forward, rotate the body, reach down, reach up. And then you can even assist that movement of that leg to the right side by giving your leg a nudge, okay, with the arm. Yes. And at the same time, as you're able, your pelvis feels like it's pushing forward or towards the left side of the room. So you're moving in opposite directions. Pelvis is moving to the left side of the room or forward. Your right leg is moving to the right side of the room. Breathe in. And exhale, we'll carefully turn, fold, bring your hands back down to the mat, step back into plank pose, holding there for a few seconds just to realign the body after holding that warrior two for a long time. Then take your shortcut to downward facing dog. So we'll have the same awareness as we do the other side. So your inhale, extend left leg into the air. We'll bend and twist open. There's the rotation that comes naturally in the spine. And a little lift of the knee. Just feel like you're just lifting it. Again, it doesn't have to lift high, but just the awareness of the leg going up. Okay? Again, it's kind of that outer rotation or outer spiral that we're working with today. Breathe in. Exhale, unwind, step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Yeah, assist that. That's good. Right heel turns to the floor. Find your center. Hinge your way up, first warrior. And exhale, opening to your warrior two. Stepping into place so you feel like you're on solid ground, well balanced here. Alrighty. And then go ahead and relax the arms. Same thing. Okay? So we want that outer rotation in the left leg. So just go ahead and place your left hand on the outer thigh. Push the leg into into the hand. And keep that sensation. Then going back to that mock warrior one where the right arm goes straight up. Exhale, slowly opening to your warrior two. Right hand reaching to the back of the room, torso turning to the side of the room as your left leg is still pushing into the left hand. And keep that sensation as we now free up that left hand and reach it forward. Emphasizing it more as we go into our side angle pose. You can stay up high in the pose. Okay to go down a little lower too. What may happen, and it's perfectly fine for this, your hips might kind of push back, okay? Out and away from you. That's okay. As long as you still kind of feel like your outer left thigh or knee is moving to the left side of the room and your pelvis feels like it's still kind of moving forward, okay, towards the right side of the room, even though your bum might be kind of sticking out. That's okay. Breathe in. And exhale, let's carefully turn, fold, hands back down to the mat, back to our plank pose. Either take another shortcut to down dog or finish your sequence, chaturanga, right into your up dog or cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet. Return to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose. That's our long, flat back. Exhale, fold again. Weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up, reaching into the air. And the exhale, arms return to your side. Okay? And then go ahead and relax a little bit. All right, I think everyone is already there, but when we stand in our mountain pose, generally our toes are pointing forward, right? Okay, for the most part. So go ahead and hold that. Just be aware of that feeling of just the toes pointing forward. I almost feel like it feels kind of robotic to me. It's not a natural way to stand, at least not for me. Okay? Alrighty. Let's go even more unnatural, perhaps, and turn your toes inward. Okay? Not just the feet or toes, but your whole leg, if you can, turning inward. Okay? And just notice how that feels in the whole lower half of the body, from your low back, your hips, thighs, your joints, knees and ankles. Notice what that feels like for you. I know for me, because I've got a kind of a twingy low back, when I turn inward like that, it kind of opens my back. So it kind of feels good back here, not so much down there. Okay, the other way now, outer rotation or outer spiral, or just turning the legs out, or a turnout. Okay, okay, here. Now this might feel a bit more natural, okay, even though they're turned out maybe more than usual, but our feet are typically turned out. Okay, again, notice how that feels along the pelvis, low back, legs. Does it affect the joints in any way? Okay, and so this is what we'll be working on, and just that awareness of this outer rotation, because it does kind of keep the pelvis, the pelvic bowl in a nice shape, especially when we're going to start working with leg extensions. All right, let's come back to our kind of our robotic mountain pose, toes pointing forward, and get ready for balancing, so a tree pose. So a little bend in the knees, start shifting weight into your right foot, root into the earth, feel nice and tall, breathing in. Exhale, connect to your core center. Once you're prepared there, we'll float the left foot up, bending the knee. Here's another outer spiral, really, as the leg just kind of turns out. Knee turns outward, either just point to the corner of the room or directly to the side of the room, and placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. And then when you're ready, and inhale to take the arms up, reaching up so you get this lift, creating space along the belt line, so maybe this knee or this leg can maybe turn out a little bit more, perhaps. Good, very nice. Excellent. Let's keep the arms extended, nice. And then swing the left knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot, plant the foot into the floor, and you can bring your arms back down to your side. You can release all of that. All the way down to your feet if you need to. Okay, getting ready for the other side. Again, a little softness in the knees, so we're not locking out the knee joints. Weight shift into the left foot, press, get tall, breathing in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, core connection, picking up the right foot, maybe flexing this foot, energizing it, knee to the corner or side of the room. That's our hip opener, the outer spiral. Turning it out, right foot to the inner left leg. Inhale, extend the arms up into the sky. Exhale, keep that core connection. Okay. So another movement that might occur here, I know for me, I've got to really activate this, is try to tuck pelvis under, or feel like I'm trying to tuck my tailbone under to keep that level feeling of my pelvis. Okay. Keeping the arms extended, we'll swing the right knee forward, lifting the knee with the flexed foot, and then plant the foot down, arms back down by your side. You can shake that out. Because we're all shaped differently, right? Especially in the pelvis. I have kind of a swayed back, and so I go down and whoop, and it just sways out like that. That's kind of my natural stance, and so I've got to work to tuck it under. So I have less strain on my low back, and so I have to do that actively in some of my postures. Let's flow. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, swan dive forward. I'm just being aware of how that feels for you with your pelvic tilt. Inhale, monkey pose, that long flat back. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you'd like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Just going through a nice flow here, but go at your own pace. Inhale, up dog or cobra. There it is. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep it moving. Inhale, extend right leg up, bend and twist, a little lift of the knee. Yep, there it is. And unwind and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat, left heel to the floor. Find your center. Rise up, first warrior. Stay in first warrior. Okay? So as you open up to Warrior Two, I want you to go in slow motion so you can be aware of this right outer thigh moving to the right side of the room as you're opening up to the left. So your next exhale, opening as the leg, it looks like it's just staying in place, but it's moving. Side angle pose, reaching forward, rotate here. Keep assisting that opening of the hip with the arm on the inner leg there, giving a little nudge. Breathe in. And exhale, let's turn. Bring the hands to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Right foot lifted this time. Okay, just a few inches off the floor. So here's a little dynamic move to really work that hip opening. So we're going to do tree pose, but here. So placing right foot, just have your toes just touch the inner left leg. Gravity is going to want to drop or pull the right knee to the floor. You need to actively lift the knee and point it to the right side of the room. Okay? It's another way of really activating that outer rotation. Okay? Re-extend the leg. You can set the toes on the floor. Okay, or keep the foot lifted and finish your push-up. Finish your sequence. You can always modify. Okay? Meeting in down dog. Take your time. Breath. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Bend and twist with a little extra lift of the knee. So you get that opening. Unwinding so you can step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Really good with those transitions. Taking your time. Right heel to the floor. Find your center. Inhale, rise. That first warrior. Hold your warrior. So as you open up slowly to your Warrior Two, you can feel the left knee or left outer thigh moving to the left side of the room. Yes, keeping that nice alignment. Alignment and opening. I love that transition. Side angle pose. There. Assisting that opening of the hip with the nudge of the arm against the leg. Breathing in. And the exhale, return to plank pose. Turn, fold, hands to the mat. Back to our plank pose, this time with your left foot lifted, just a few inches off the floor, dynamically reaching back. Let's take our fallen tree. So left foot comes to the inside, just touch the toes on the inner leg, lifting the knee so it's mostly or trying to point to the left side of the room. You're going to feel that. Oh, yes. Okay. You can re-extend the leg, set the toes on the floor, keep the foot lifted, and finish your sequence. Okay, you can always modify or even set the toes down and take a shortcut to downward facing dog. Good. Meeting in down dog. Going back down to the floor, you can kneel down to take your seat or hop forward, cross your legs and take a seat. And we'll extend the legs out front this time. We'll take a seated forward fold. You're welcome to use the strap, just an option. If you'd like to use the strap for your forward folds. Okay. So straight-ish legs. Okay. Flexed feet, so heels feel like they're moving to the front of the room, holding onto the strap. So we'll inhale, lift up through the spine. If you're holding onto the strap, just tug the strap, help you lift up. Exhale, another tug of the strap to send your heart forward, leading with your chin. What I imagine is like there was a wall or a fence, like right at your chin. You're trying to look up and over it. Okay, it's right up here, but you're trying to look up and over it. That way you'll stay lifted and you'll hinge. Okay, rather than kind of sink and collapse and fold. Okay, you can stay like that for a breath or two. Then you can start to soften things up. You bend the knees more. You can go ahead and let the chin drop, let the back round, and go a little deeper as you'd like, using the strap or releasing the strap. Maybe you can reach your toes or just holding on to your legs. Wherever you are, just a gentle lengthening feeling through the legs, mostly to the hamstrings. Calves are getting affected there too. If your back is rounded, that pull, that stretch, that flexion in the back, hopefully that feels good as well. Three more breaths. If you're holding on to a strap, just release the strap, reach the hands forward. We'll inhale and just hinge our way back up, nice and tall, reaching for the ceiling. Reach up, and then exhale, bring your arms down to the side. Okay, then, yeah, shake that out. Wiggle the toes, circle the ankles. Let's take the legs wide, just opening things up here. Have the hands behind you just to help prop yourself up. Again, just getting the torso to lift, but also sit nicely in the pelvic bowl with the toes pointing straight up, okay? Flexing the feet so they're energized. So kind of the same thing like we did standing with the toes pointing forward, toes pointing straight up. Now do an inner rotation, whole leg turn inward. Notice how this feels. Through the joints. I feel this in my muscles here too. Turning inward, an inner rotation. Back to center, and then an outer rotation. Notice how that affects the body. Let's see if we can keep that outer rotation. If it's too far, you can soften it up a little bit. Keep pressing into the floor with your hands behind you. Get a little taller. Breathe in. Exhale. Again, that high fence, trying to go up and over it. Yes, leading with the heart and chin just a little bit. Okay. We're going to go again. Inhale, lifting through the torso, long spine. Exhale, pull belly in, go up and over that little wall. All right, just as we did with the forward fold with the legs together. Okay, you can soften things up. A little softening of the knees, but keep that outer spiral. Lower the chin, round your back. You can even bring one hand or even two hands in front if you decide you can fold a little deeper. Yes. There we are. Good. We'll take 3 more breaths here. You can certainly stay here longer if you'd like. And then carefully making your way back up. Maybe lean back. We'll take that stretch out of the legs by bending the knees. Just come to cobbler's pose, bound angle. And just stay tall here in the seat with this hip opener while I demonstrate something that we're going to do next. So we'll use the strap for this one. So I need to go ahead and do my right leg. I'm going to take my right leg in the air with the strap. Going straight up, okay? A little stretch for the hamstring as I draw the leg over my head. You can even put a bend in the knee if you need to, okay? And I'm going to start taking the right leg out to the right side. With this bent elbow, I'm going to bring that elbow to the floor. Okay, so I just have more support while the foot's kind of sitting in that sling. Left arm out to the side so I have balance, because I want to keep this balance on the floor from hip to hip. I don't want to fall to the side, right? I want to stay nice and level here as I take this leg out to the side. About halfway there, hopefully you can see my foot. I'm going to do an outer spiral. Okay, and just turn it. And still go down, but because I've turned the leg, okay, outward, I can probably take the toes more that direction. Okay, we're going to be doing this standing. It's the same effect standing. We'll do an outer rotation, keeping the back flat, pelvis kind of and tailbone tucked under, and see if we can get that leg extended. Okay, up and out. Okay. Yours might be able to go out a little bit more, mine doesn't. Okay, but again, we want to make sure we're not taking the other half or other side of the body off the floor to get here. Okay. All right, so let's take this posture. Go ahead and lie down, grab your strap. Go ahead and start with that right leg. Left leg can stay straight on the floor. Actually, let's all do that. So left leg straight on the floor and activate it by flexing the foot. So you can keep that foot flexed. That's going to fire up the left side, and that might even help to stabilize the left side. All right, we got the strap around the right foot. A nice leg extension here. Breathing into that stretch. And we'll start to slowly start taking out to the right side, not too far to begin with, just a little bit, so you can make sure and be aware that you're still flat on the ground with your whole rest of the body. Left arm out to the left side, okay, just to balance. And maybe out a little bit more with the right leg, but then that turn, that outer rotation, yes, of the leg. And maybe you can go out a little bit more, maybe not, that's okay if it doesn't. And then sending the toes towards the back of the room. Okay, it might barely move, it may not move at all. Okay, as far as the leg. Motion there, yes. But wherever you are is just right for your body. Just make sure you're not straining or trying to force yourself into a pose. If you need to lighten it up or finish the posture, you can always come out of it. 2 more breaths, or if you're finished, go ahead and come out. That's good. Yes, nice work. Okay. You can bring that leg back up. You can bend it first if you need to, but bring it back up. Bend the knee, releasing the strap, so you can switch feet in the strap. When that right leg comes out onto the floor, be sure to flex the foot so it stays active throughout this side. There you go. And the left leg or left foot will catch the strap and right up into the air. Set yourself up so you feel flat on the ground, both sides. Flexing the right foot, your right arm might even move out to the right side. As you start to slowly take the left leg out to the side, make sure the elbow comes to the floor so you have a little bit more control. There you go. You'll have more control of the foot in the strap. Good. Maybe a little bit more. Start that outer rotation if you haven't already with the left leg. There it is. And see if the foot or leg can actually move a bit more towards the back of the room with that rotation. Or even just out to the side a little bit more. Okay. Just as that left leg is getting extended and moving that direction, the right side is also working. That flexed right foot, active leg, and that right arm reaching out to the side, making sure the right hip is still grounded. 1 more breath. Good. Softening so you can come out. You can bend the knee first or bring that straight leg back up into the air. Bend the knee to release the strap, so we're done with that for now. Hug both knees into chest. Since the feet were pretty active there, you might want to circle the ankles, flex and point, wiggle the toes if you're able. And guiding your way back up to seated, so you can come to boat pose again. And again, ensuring that you have a good lengthening through the torso, a little lift of the chin, that same kind of wall right here, trying to look up and over that wall with a slightly lifted chin. Okay? Hold on to the back of the knees here. If your hands are free, go ahead and hold on to the legs. Point your toes. Extend your right leg. And maybe look at the knees and see if the knees are still aligned here. Okay. We'll bend the knee back to neutral. Point the toes. Extend the leg. Knees still aligned. Holding yourself up. Maybe extending both legs as you're able. Good. Okay, we're breathing in and we're moving on the exhale. Cross legs. Oops. Hands in front, hop or step back, plank pose. Finish the sequence as you'd like. You might want to throw in a low cobra or up dog for a back bend. And downward facing dog. Good. Breathing in. Exhale, bend knees, hop, step, or walk. Both feet return to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming up, reaching into the air. And exhale, arms down to your side. Shake it out. Okay? So we're just going to repeat what we just did on the floor, lying down. We're just going to do it standing up. But feel free to use a wall for this, just to help with balance. So you don't have to rely on just trying to stand on one foot, because we might be holding this for a while. Okay? So use a wall. Let me quickly demo. I'm going to do my left leg, because my left leg isn't as flexible as my right, that's for sure. But it's the same kind of thing. So I got the strap around my left foot. I am going to use the wall here. Just like getting set up for tree, soft knees, weight shifts in my right foot there, lifting the knee. What we'll do first is actually extend the leg, okay, like we did lying down. Just want to be aware if you're leaning back. See how I'm leaning back there? I'm exaggerating this, okay? Make sure you're nice and tall, as if you're flush up against a wall. Trying to get a good hold of the strap here. I'm going to slowly start taking the leg to the left side. It's still, I haven't turned it yet. But once I turn it, it's going to keep my pelvis aligned here. So I can actually take the leg up. I'm just pulling it up. Okay? Because if it turns in, this is what's going to happen. Okay? So turning it out keeps the pelvis like a bowl so you don't tip that soup out. And we'll bring it forward, bend the knee, and bring it back down. Okay? So what foot should we start with? So Preston's got the strap on his left foot, so let's go ahead and do that. So strap around the left foot, use a wall. That means you're standing on the right foot. Just like mountain pose. So balance on 2 feet at first, soft knees, put some weight into the right foot. Maybe your right hand is on something that's going to help you stabilize. Use all your breath cues and actions. Then lifting the left knee and foot. Extend the left leg forward. Don't worry about it being parallel to the floor. Just straight. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And be aware if you're leaning back. That might just mean you have to lower the left leg a little bit. That's okay. As long as you feel like you're tall and flush against a wall. Mm-hmm. There you go. Slowly start taking left leg to the left side. Just a little bit. Outwardly rotate. Okay? Keep taking it out as you're able. It really doesn't have to. And using the strap and see if that leg can lift a little. Okay? Towards the ceiling. Yes. I can even see your leg outwardly rotate as you lift it. It kind of happens automatically. Okay? But to stay like this, like a ballet dancer, they got to have that turnout. Okay? To keep that nice, tall upper body. Okay? Not feeling like they're going to tip over. Okay? Let's bring that leg forward again. Maybe you can get it to parallel, but again, not necessary. Bend the knee. We'll put it down. Get out of that strap. Shake it out. Walk it out. Turn around. Sounds like a dance move. Okay. All right. Other side. So let's lasso up that right foot. Left side's facing the wall. Mountain pose, nice and tall, soft knees. Inhale. Exhale, engaging core. That's when we can lift the right foot, extend it forward. Again, not needing it to be parallel to the floor unless you're able to. But being sure you're still tall. There's a lifting feeling, which you can do since your hand is on the wall. It's like you're trying to pull yourself up. Just lift yourself up a little taller. Right leg starts to swing out to the right side a bit. Outwardly rotate. Maybe taking it out more. Okay, I'm just lifting this leg. I'm just using the strap and just lifting my leg up in the air and holding it up. Outwardly rotate. There we go. Again, still being sure as your back still straight up and down. You might be leaning a little bit to the left side. Okay, that's okay. But if you can get a little taller, okay, without needing to lean too much, that might just mean lower the right leg a bit. There you go. Good. Very strong. We're bringing the right leg forward. Bend the knee. We'll set it down. Release the strap. Excellent. And come back over onto your mat. Done with the strap there. Okay. Outward rotations. Okay. Done with the strap, back to your mountain pose. And we'll flow. When you're ready, breathing in, reach up high. Exhale, swan dive. Monkey pose, halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, all the way down, hands to the mat. Hop, step, or walk. Both feet back. Plank pose. Come down if you like. Chaturanga Dandasana. Nice flow here. Good. Inhale, up dog or a cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready, an inhale to extend right leg up, bend and twist. We're just repeating what we've done already. Feel that lift of the knee, nice opening. Just notice if you happen to open up a bit more. Unwind on your exhale, step through. Top of the mat, setting yourself up for warrior one. Left heel to the floor, centering, rise up. Okay. Awareness of the right leg as you open up to your warrior two. That knee and thigh still moving outward. Yes, side angle pose. Forward and down we go. Bracing arm against the inner leg. Okay. Remember, the leg is still moving to the right, but pelvis, okay, is pushing forward. Inhale here. Exhale. Here's our turn and fold. Hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Right foot lifted. We're going to do our falling tree again. So right foot or toes just touching the inside of the left leg. Knee lifting so it's pointing to the right side of the room. Okay. Re-extending the leg. You can set the toes down or not and finish your push-up. Finishing your flow or a variation of your flow to return to down dog. From down dog, pay attention of adding something new here. Shifting your way back out to plank pose. Plank. Pick up your right foot. Outwardly rotate the foot or leg so the toes are pointing outward. Kick out to the right. Like you're going to kick the front of the room. Yes. And then take it back. Oh my gosh. Who thought of that? Bring the toes to the floor. Shortcut to down dog. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Bend and twist. Feel the lift of the knee, a little opening, more opening. Unwind on the exhale, step through. Warrior one. Rising when you're ready. Get floating. Then you open up slowly to your warrior two, left knee and thigh moving to the left side of the room to keep that, yes, nice alignment. Side angle coming out, tip it over, left arm or hand braced against the inner leg to continue that nice assist of opening. Breathe in, here we go. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor, back to plank pose, left foot lifted. Okay. Fallen tree. Left foot to the inner leg, just the toes touching somewhere in the inner leg, knee lifting and pointing. Yes. Re-extending the legs, set the toes down or not. Finishing your flow. Okay. We'll do that last dynamic movement. So once in down dog, slowly return to plank pose. Feel strong here. You can even lift your hips up a little higher so you don't feel like you're going to collapse into your back. Lift your left foot, outwardly rotate, and start kicking to the side of the room and maybe towards the front of the room. Like I know you don't feel that. Bring it back, set the toes down, shortcut to down dog. There it is. Child's pose, that's fine. Bring knees to the floor, take a rest. Whew. That really gets you. It gets in the glutes there with that particular one, right? So take a little rest here. Breathe. Recenter, refocus. Three or four more breaths, just taking your time. Whenever you're ready, just slowly rising so you're in hero, but then sit off to the side. Swing the legs around to the front, sit in the center of your mat. So we're going to go into some inversions, and of course we have several variations. You can lie down, legs straight up, like so, or come to a bridge pose prep, get a block, sit on a block, then extend the legs, or take shoulder stand where the legs and hips go into the air, and you're just sitting in your hands. So just take the inverted posture that you'd like to do, legs up, and we'll just do that same kind of movement and feeling. So maybe flexing the feet so the heels are reaching for the ceiling, toes, in this case probably pointing directly to the back of the room. Then as you're able, turn your legs inward. Okay, notice how that feels. It might feel different depending on which posture you're in as well. Alrighty? and then outwardly spiral the legs. Notice how that feels. There we are. And then back to some neutral posture. And what you may want to do, you just hold here. What I like to sometimes do is do this little bicycle pedaling. Okay, like I'm on a bicycle and just pedal. So I'm getting into my knees, getting into the hips a little bit, getting this movement in the feet. Any movement or no movement here. If you happen to be in shoulder stand, you're certainly welcome to move towards or into plow pose. Maybe the straight legs come down behind you, or you bent knees come down towards the forehead. And of course, you don't have to do that. You certainly don't have to hold that long. 1 or 2 more breaths. Our next pose will be a back bend. So think of a back bend you'd like to do. So when you're ready, carefully rolling out of your inverted posture. Typically, you might move into fish pose after this. So you can extend the legs out front, point your toes, arms, straight arms underneath you. You'll end up sitting on your hands, pushing into the floor with the backs of your arms or elbows to lift your upper body, lifting through the chest, and arch your back. That creates the back bend. And your top of your head or crown might touch the floor. So that's fish. You might just choose bridge, just a repeat of bridge pose. Even a full wheel pose if you want to add another dynamic posture. Legs can be straight here in fish, if you happen to be in fish, or you can create that fish tail, by coming to cobbler's pose. Just bend the knees, bring the feet together. A couple more breaths. There you go. That's it. Good, Chris. Finishing, coming out of your back bend, wherever you happen to be, and just lie flat. Good job. Just a little quick preview to Shavasana. You can even stretch it out by extending your arms behind you, legs out front if you'd like. And from here, decide what you would like to do next. It could be any movement, any pose, or maybe you're finished. If you feel finished, just come to Shavasana, come to your resting place. Or maybe you want to add a hip opener like happy baby pose, reclining cobbler's pose, maybe a twist. Lots of nice variations of a twist here. Whenever you are complete with your movements and these last postures, find your way to Shavasana or any restorative position, somewhere where you can lie in stillness. There's a disengagement of your body, the muscles in your body, so you can really relax. Restful moment not only for your body but also your mind. And just these slow, steady yet audible breaths just to keep the mind clear. Stay right where you are. No need to move just yet. Stay aware of your breath. You might even notice your legs. If you are in Shavasana, you might be experiencing a natural outer rotation of the legs. That might even help with that relaxation through the legs, your low back, right up through your spine. Return to the awareness of your breath. And with this awareness, this time taking 5 slow, steady breaths. With this breathing effort, feeling movement slowly return to your body. Certainly not rushing, more of a slow guidance of movement. Moving from a subtle movement to a more obvious movements in the body as you're approaching or even bypass that 5th breath. When you are ready, slowly moving, rolling on one side of your body. Brief pause in this nurturing position. And from here, guiding your way up to a seated position. If you happen to be crossing your legs, an outer rotation actually assists this type of sitting position. One more movement. We'll inhale and take the arms all the way up, reaching high. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Perhaps taking one more breath with your hands at your heart space. Nice. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.